What's up everyone? Today I have for you a 5 of a kind behemoth, all of them at 100 stats and all of that being achieved without the help of infinite gold or infinite draws or shop scaling or even cat scaling for that matter. It is all raw gold generation and the power of the Peach of Immortality. So how is that all even possible? Well, I will show you in a little bit as we begin our run. Here we start off with a beautiful double draw, so we don't even get to claim a victory. When we are going for this kind of run, we will want to go as late as possible, so for this purpose we are also going to take this hedgehog in the shop. We're not going infinite draws, but at least some draws will be vitally important for the completion of this run, so we put this hedgehog in the back. I also have love potion in this pack, so we can maybe put love potion onto the hedgehog and the flying fish will level it up for us. For now we get to lose. Honestly, at this point in the game, losses are better than wins. So we're quite happy with the loss. Ideally we want to be drawing over losing, but losses are relatively fine as well. Now that we have triple hedgehog, hopefully that stops and we actually finally start drawing. Our opponent is 3 hedgehogs, so we thankfully get a draw right here. So yeah, the initial plan is going to be end up with the draw pool where the teams are kind of weak. And that will allow us to run the gold generating units like Hammerhead Shark and Sauropod without fear of losing so much. Here we finally get a love potion on the hedgehog, so we're going to have double level 2 plus a single level 1 hedgehog as well as a deer. Deer is going to be super important in order to clear out the strong units of the opponent. Here we claim another draw, absolutely perfect so far. The more hearts we can preserve into the late game, the better it is going to be for us. We are also going to try to get a level 3 hedgehog going into turn 9. That way, if we level up into a hammerhead shark, we can actually instantly activate its effect and start getting some gold from that. So for this reason we're buy selling a crow right here in order to get the hedgehog up to level 3, or at least we have 2 separate level 2s, I think that will be more efficient for us. Leveling up into a blobfish, funnily enough, which can be synergistic when we are running a flying fish. And honestly, this kind of setup made me very creative with my combos. I believe here we are going to sell out of the deer, we're going to combine the hedgehogs and put a love potion on the blobfish. That way we get a second level 2 copy that will then level up the level 1 copy of the blobfish, and hopefully that gets us a ton of stats. Here it's looking a little bit scary, but thankfully because we have a level 3 hedgehog at the back, we get to claim another draw. So I think we're doing super well. I don't think you can call this like draws coming. We just have a level 3 hedgehog at the back, and we are trying our best to set up for a turn 9 pivot. I think these 2 cyclopses are going to be redundant, so we're not going to keep them. We're going to hop into yet another fight. This guy has double level 2 hedgehogs along with a weak stat line, so we're going to get yet another draw. Absolutely ideal right now. Level 2 blobfish will level up into a Leviathan. Leviathan is very quickly becoming one of my favorite pets in the custom packs. If you get it early like here, it will actually provide you a free level up, so you have another chance to find a tier 6. So we're going to sell out of the flying fish for it. And unfortunately here we get cat and bird of paradise from the level up, which is not the desired outcome. No matter though, as we grab yet another draw, we're just going to try again on the next turn. Ideally we're looking for Sauropod and Hammerhead Shark. I believe those are the 2 pets that can generate the most amount of gold. In the meantime, we're going to try to level up the Leviathan, hoping that from this level up we get to see the units that we want, which unfortunately is not the case once again. But I think we're still kind of fine. We have not won even once yet, it is turn 10, so I think we have a lot of time to work with. Of course, if we can manage to continue drawing, it will be best for us. We get more and more level ups, but still no hammerhead shark and still no sauropods. We are being a little bit unlucky right now, but I think starting from turn 11 our luck will turn around. At least we level up into double oyster, so we get to start off with a little bit of extra gold. And here we go, almost instantly we find a sauropod, so that's what we're going to instantly take. Put the blobfish onto it, make it instantly level 2. If we level up into a hammerhead or another sauropod, we'll be happy, and here is the hammerhead, we can take that. So yeah, this is the setup basically, and this is why we wanted to be in the draw pool. Like, if we were in the normal player pool, this team would be extremely weak and would be losing instantly. But instead we can farm gold with the Leviathan, we can farm gold with the hammerhead, we can farm gold with the sauropod, and hopefully set up an amazing amount of scaling with the Peaches of Immortality. Here I have the option of combining the hammerhead sharks together, and while that would make us less gold, it would give us a strong unit in the fish. I decide not to do that, however, because as I said before, I believe the draw pool is relatively weak, so we can get away with that. Unfortunately, here we don't match up against the draw team, so we end up losing, but that is okay. We still have 3 hearts to work with as we get the level 2 hammerhead shark. And pretty soon I think we shall start working towards some either sauropod level ups or some Peaches of Immortality purchases, or maybe even both, depends on what the shop gives us. So I think here I want to take the sauropod. Optimizing this is a little bit difficult with all of the combination tricks to reset the triggers and stuff. So here we go, we reset the triggers of the level 2 sauropod, we use the cornucopia hoping to find a Peach of Immortality from that. But here we go, we find our first Peach, so we put it on the hammerhead. We get a level 3 sauropod, therefore resetting the triggers once again. More and more sauropods, which is amazing for us. So now we don't even need the hedgehog because our sauropod is our level 3. So I'm thinking about an asparagus on the hedgehog and potentially selling it next turn. Yeah, amazing amount of gold generation right now, and I think it's even going to continue for a little bit further as we use this chocolate on the sauropod, making it level 2, resetting the triggers once again. Kind of difficult to keep up with what's happening, but I am trying my best to explain it. So here we go, use another cornucopia. No Peach of Immortality, but there is a pretzel, so I guess we'll take that. And potentially even use it, yeah. I think we have enough gold to buy the sauropod, use the pretzel, and have 3 gold left over. This is basically the best turn 12 setup you could be hoping for. Here I even combined the sauropods, hoping to get yet another hedgehog from the love potion, making drawing a little bit easier. Here is a generic draw team that I was hoping to face last turn. Here we get an easy draw, so we don't have to worry about it. So yeah, back to scaling we go. I am looking for Peaches now. Here we go, we find another one. I think we buy over 30 Peaches in this game, spoiler alert. So yeah, a lot of scaling will be done, but for now we need to get started. We have stuff like tofu in the pack, making finding Peaches more consistent. I'm not the best at using tofu, however. I often forget that I should not be buying any foods after the Peach of Immortality, but that is no big deal when we are doing as well as we are. We just continue rolling right here. We get a Pteranodon, which is a part of an infinite combo you can do with the sauropod, and I think I will utilize it later, but for now we are just going to continue generically scaling with a hot dog. The Peaches have not been showing up though, which is a little bit worrisome. I think we should remedy that starting from next turn though, as we get a level 3 sauropod and yet another hammerhead shark to include. Here we see someone trying to do another infinite combo with the pillbug and the pelican, kind of funny to see. So we go back to scaling. I am trying to utilize all of the foods I can find. Here we go, finally we get a Peach. Very important not to waste any gold with the sauropods, kind of difficult to calculate that over and over again though. as we're going to buy one, hopefully not wasting any gold. And I am hoping to get another level 3 sauropod to then reset the triggers once again. So a lot of playing around you have to do with this kind of setup. Once again, I have to state, here is a behemoth that we can start scaling up, but I think we need to focus on getting the peaches big and juicy first. They're only at +4/+4 currently, so it will be kind of difficult for us to scale up a 100 behemoth with such small peaches. So instead we're just going to continue rolling, continue finding peaches. This turn they have been coming a lot, +6/+6. I am not buying any cornucopias, hoping that we see a tofu instead. Here we go, this is our 7th peach. An 8th peach as well. All of a sudden we have a 50-50 almost sauropod at the front, which is going to hopefully start carrying us. Maybe this time we actually win instead of draw. Our opponent is looking very strong this time with their lioness scaling. We draw once again, but I'm pretty sure that relatively soon we will start winning. So here we go. In the meantime, we continue scaling up the peaches. I guess all we have to do now is just roll and roll until we find enough of them. Here is the tofu interaction that helps us get a lot of peaches. We're at +10/+10 now on the peaches, so that is great news. The process of scaling up the peaches is a little bit monotonous, but here and there you can actually utilize a pretty smart combo to extend your play a little bit. So for now we're just trolling. Unfortunately, I am looking for maybe a pteranodon sometime soon that can help us duplicate one of the sauropods that we have, or the hammerhead shark for that matter would be pretty useful. And yeah, a lot of peaches on this turn though. We get an almost 50-50 hammerhead shark in the single turn, so this time I think we should be winning. Yep. Not even close. We get to survive with double sauropods, so now we have started to dominate the opposition. So at this point I think is where I start hardcore scaling and bum rushing towards the behemoths. Here is, by the way, a very fun interaction that you can do. If you roll into a behemoth, a mushroom and a pill like we did right here, you can duplicate a pet that you have, and this is basically how the infinite would work. Here we just use it once, however, because we got it all in a single row. So we sell out of the pteranodon. Now we have triple sauropod to generate us free gold. And yeah, just keep using the peaches. Now all of a sudden these 1/1s will become 50-50s as long as we find 3 or 4 more peaches. Oysters in shop are also very beneficial to have. Maybe this is around the time when I start bringing in some behemoths, or at least freezing them. I think pretty soon we have to start buffing them up, otherwise it will be too late. But here we go. After by selling a couple of more oysters, I think we're going to pretty soon include this behemoth into the team. Maybe I'm waiting on to a peach of Immortality, which we find thankfully right here. 15-15 stats and 16-16 for this one. Very nice that the behemoth also scales itself up a little bit, so that will help us get the 100-100 stat line. I think at this point we're way too powerful for draw teams to defeat us unless they're running 50-50 badgers, so we just get to dominate, we get to escape the draw pool a little bit, and in the meantime we're still generating an insane amount of gold, so hopefully we can continue to find some peaches. Here we see a mushroom plus pill combo, which we can utilize actually. If we use a mushroom plus pill onto one of the sauropods, it will reset its trigger, so I don't think we need the pill just yet, but I will put on the mushroom, hoping that we get to pill that sauropod eventually. Once again, faced with the issue of the gold cap, I am trying to utilize as much gold as possible in order to not overflow any of it. But yeah, you can see how fast we're scaling now. Soon enough we will need a second behemoth that we can bring up to 100-100. So another peach that we get to use right here. I am thinking about it for a little bit, just not to overflow any gold once again. And I believe this is where the second behemoth will come in. The benefit of them coming in so soon is that they will get to scale up for more and more turns by themselves without us needing to use any peaches. So yeah, I think it's beneficial for us to have them, but it's also very good for us to have gold generation as well. So we have found all 5 behemoths, 3 of them just chilling in the shop. Meantime, we're just scaling up the rest of them. One of them is almost at 100 and the other one is over 50 already, so I think we're making pretty good progress. I think at this point it's basically unavoidable that we win. Like, even this relatively strong looking draw team right here, we managed to easily dispatch of, so that is great news for us. And yeah, I want to eventually get rid of these sauropods. I think Hammerhead Shark is the better pet to stay for the team, just because it gives us gold passively. We don't have to work by buying foods and making profit that way. So here we go, buying 3 avocados. I think we can sell one of the sauropods now. Preferably the one with the pita bread actually can go, because the one with a mushroom can reset its own triggers with a pill, and that is what we're demonstrating right here. We can find some more peaches of Immortality, quickly scaling up to 100. I think we might even hit a 100 unit on this turn. 96, maybe we don't even need to invest any more into that one, because it will get up to 100 by itself. So we can just start pivoting to buffing the third behemoth right here, selling the sauropod in the process. Very important reminder, by the way, the Hammerhead Shark needs a level 3 friend in order to generate gold, so we can't really sell that final sauropod just yet, otherwise the Hammerhead Shark will also be disabled. But I think we're making great progress once again. Almost 100, 2 behemoths over 50 as well. This is a shop scale team that we get to face right here, which we very easily defeat. The power of 100 units just dominating the meta is honestly kind of incredible. So we continue with our shenanigans on this turn now, getting another mushroom, hoping for another pill to reset the triggers once again. I don't think it's super reliable to do this, especially when we don't have the space to buy sell a pill bug or some such in order to generate us a pill. But I think at this point it's pretty much necessary that we bring in another behemoth. We have 2 100s and 1 100 by the end of this turn, so I suppose we do have to sell the sauropod eventually. I am kind of stubborn, I don't want to do it just yet, but I think finally I should be able to do that at the beginning of the next turn. Either that or the Hammerhead we can sell. Let's take a look at this battle first. This may be the same guy that we versed last turn, I'm not really sure, but we get to easily win against him. And if we're lucky, I suppose we can get to enjoy a full team of 100 behemoths by the end of this turn. I suppose we shall see. So here we go, we start buffing up, we get some avocados. I'm hoping to see more peaches obviously, but this purchase of an avocado was a little bit suspicious. Maybe I should not have done it in order to keep the tofu enabled. So I'm just digging for another peach with the power of the cornucopia. Unsuccessful unfortunately, but it's still worth the attempt. We reset the triggers one last time. I think after a little bit of usage from the sauropod, we're just going to sell it and move on to the final behemoth. Looking for the peach once again, we pass up a couple of tofus, which was super unfortunate. We get a 99 behemoth. The sauropod is out of triggers, so I think now is the perfect time to sell it. Yep, sell it, buy a behemoth, put a peach onto it. Unfortunately we don't have enough money for that tofu, but we get a peach right after, so it is fine. And yeah, I think we're one turn away from the full 100 team. This is the same guy once again, going Tarantula Hulk plus Wolverine. Unfortunately, when you're trying to reduce the HP of 100, it's not going to be super effective. But here we go, one final pitch and I believe we are done, and here it is. This is the brilliant team of full 100s achieved by turn 21. So at this point I believe winning should be pretty easy. After all, we do have fully maxed out behemoths, but I think I will try my best and actually find some perks for them to utilize as well. Something like a lemon or a melon or a pepper. I think anything basically would be good enough. Even this steak right here. Even though nothing will be able to survive 120 damage, I just take the steak over the peach of Immortality. We find double pita bread as well, so we take that too. And yeah, we're basically all geared up and ready for success. Second to last turn, we enter into a fight. We face a full team of 50/50s plus an 82/82 behemoths, and it's not even close. So this is the final turn. We're going to be closing off after finding a perk for that final behemoth. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I really hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.